Please adhere to YouTube's selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during the video. All actions are performed by professionals.
Alrighty, so today I'm going to be smoking an herbal cigarette made with mugwort and rose petals, which I am looking forward to doing a little bit more so than not, as I am quite curious to find out how an herbal cigarette made with, well, mugwort and rose petals will actually taste, smoke, and just in general be. Will these cigarettes be good? Will they be bad? And will they be a decent cigarette to smoke if you still want to smoke, even though you're quitting cigarettes? Well, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to finding out, and I'm looking forward to finding out whether I appreciate and enjoy these cigarettes or not. The cigarettes I'm going to be smoking today in specific are the D-Rag Craig Rose cigarettes. I'm not exactly sure how to say the name in all honesty, and the branding on the front does honestly make me a little bit confused. The logo isn't really super readable to me in all honesty, but these are the cigarettes I'm going to be smoking today. I bought them online. I can't say specifically where I bought them because I'm afraid that YouTube might not appreciate me saying that, even though these are not a regulated product, and even though these are herbal cigarettes, YouTube may still not appreciate me sharing where I bought these from. I will acknowledge, and so as such, I'm not going to do that today. But these are the cigarettes I'm going to be smoking. And as said, as a whole, I'm quite curious to find out how they are and whether they're actually going to be good or not. Now, these cigarettes were a bit pricey. I think it was $8 for this pack, and there's 10 cigarettes in this pack. Unlike many packs of herbal cigarettes, which contain 20, this one contains 10, which means that the cigarettes inside this pack are around about, like, what is that, 80 cents a cigarette? That's almost $1 a cigarette. That's insane. That's more than any prepackaged cigarette in my local area. That's more than American Spirit Blacks. So these had better be good. If they're not good, I'm going to be very disappointed. But I do suppose, without further ado, I should probably go ahead and quickly start covering the packaging of these cigarettes right here. Then after that, I'm thinking I should probably go ahead and, well, get the pack all opened up, take a look at the cigarettes inside this pack, find out just what they smell like, what the quality is like, what they look like, and everything like that. And then after that, I'm thinking I should probably go outside, have a smoke, and find out just how these actually are for the first time, and find out just how a cigarette made with mugwort and rose petals actually is. But, as said, first off, we've got to go over the packaging, which, I'll be honest, y'all, I'm really not a particularly big fan of. One, I don't really know how to read the brand name. It's all in a very fancy sort of text, and that text itself is all black, and this does have a little bit of embossment going on, which I do appreciate. Not too much, it's just very light, but it's there nonetheless. But honestly, they're going for the whole sort of simplistic, herbal, sort of minimalist, almost sort of like Bed Bath & Beyond look with this pack of cigarettes, and it's just not something I really like all that much. It's not my thing. I wouldn't call this pack of cigarettes ugly. At least the front of it isn't ugly. There's other portions which kind of are. Either way, though, I'm still just not really a particularly big fan of the look of this pack of cigarettes, frankly put. But it does have some redeeming factors. We just get a white background with some roses right here, kind of being an orangey sort of pink, I'd have to say. At the very top, it just says Old Street London right there, just trying to make it look like some reputable brand, I guess. Under this text right here, it just says Rose right there. And then under that, there's another black line, and that's pretty much all there is to the, well, front of the packaging. They're really going for the whole sort of simplistic, minimalist asset, almost sort of like Bed Bath & Beyond look in my personal opinion. They're trying to look like a bath bomb. They're trying to look like a bath salt or like a bar of soap. Like, honestly, this really looks like a package for a bar of soap. That's really what this looks like. I don't want to smoke bar soap cigarettes. I don't want to. But that's really what this looks like, in all honesty. It's not ugly packaging per se. It just doesn't make me think cigarette when I see the packaging, which might be their goal. It, for all I know, could be their goal. So if it is their goal, hey, they achieved it, you know what I'm saying? Overall, though, I'm not really a particularly big fan of the front of the packaging, and I'm not really a particularly big fan of the back of the packaging either. Now, the back of the packaging does have some of the information about the brand and, like, where you can find them and stuff. on the back and whatnot, so I have to cover up some of the information, so I'm going to go ahead and just do that real quick with my hand. But we can see this is what the back of the packaging looks like, just like that. We get the same logo right there, once again embossed. So there's embossment not only on the front but also on the back, which is something I do appreciate. And then it just says ingredients: mugwort leaves, rose petals, organic rolling paper, organic paper filter tips. So it just says organic paper filter tips, so I'm assuming that these are going to be unfiltered. And that assumption is backed up by the fact that on the bottom of the packaging, it just says manufactured by Chigo Ventures Jalgon. And then under that, it just says contains 10 herbal joints. Not herbal cigarettes, herbal joints. Now, these are marketed online as being an herbal cigarette, but it says on the bottom, herbal joints. Just says MRP $6.99. I don't know exactly what currency that is, but if I had to guess, I probably got ripped off buying these for as much as I did. And then it just says batch number, has a batch number, and then manufactured date April of 2024. So yeah, this pack of cigarettes is like just about a year old as of the recording of this video. Or all right, it's actually about like 9 to 10 months old as of the recording of this video. But by the time this video goes up, it will be just about a year old, which is honestly not great, frankly put. But is there anything else about the packaging I want to cover? Yes, so I went ahead and covered the bottom of the packaging. Now let's go and cover the top. Just says this, smoking this product damages your health, not to be sold loose. So they only want people to buy these in the packs. And of course, just because this is an herbal cigarette does not mean it's good for you by any means. And this is an ugly portion of the packaging. It just has standard sans serif or Arial, and it just says discover peace. Like they put all this effort into the front of the packaging. And then they decided, hey, let's just put discover peace in Arial on the side. What? Bruh. Like that's just so bro. Just put it in like Times New Roman or just something else besides Arial. Like, look, I like Arial. I think Arial is a very nice looking text. But not really for the front of cigarette packs all that much. Unless that's kind of your goal, is to make it look like it's a really cheap fake pack of cigarettes or something like that kind of thing. And that really is what this kind of looks like based off of this text right here, in all honesty. Taking a look at the other side, we just got the logo right there on a pink background. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to the packaging. One other thing, I'm just looking at the sticker. There's a sticker on this because I bought it online, and it just says 10 floral pre-rolled smokes, drag rose, 100% organic, sourced from the alpine forests of the Himalayas. Okay, sure. And it just says herbal cigarette. And that's pretty much all that's going on. Without further ado, I think I'm going to go ahead and grab my knife real quick. And I'm going to go ahead and get this opened up. There's no pull tab on the cellophane from what I can tell, so you do kind of have to use a knife to open it up. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just doing that off camera just so I don't accidentally flash the camera with anything on the packaging that I really shouldn't be showing. And the cellophane itself, it appears to be double wrapped, so they were certainly expecting these to be on the shelf for a bit longer than not. And the cellophane itself is not like normal cellophane. This appears to be more like actual normal plastic wrap. Not really getting any of a smell right off the bat. Maybe these are individually wrapped. That would be pretty funny. Individually wrapped cigarettes. What is this? Japan with individually wrapped bananas? Individually wrapped cigarettes would be wild, y'all. That would be crazy. But just getting the rest of the plastic off, which was less like normal cigarette cellophane and more like alcohol plastic they put on the top of bottles for no tampering and everything like that kind of thing. But it just says nicotine-free, tobacco-free, just right there on the back, and then it has a little bit of a barcode as well. Let me just go ahead and see if I can show y'all the rest of the back of the packaging without showing off any information I really shouldn't be showing. But let's go ahead and now get this pack of cigarettes all opened up. This appears to be a slide pack, so let's go ahead and slide it open. Just like that, and we can see, oh yeah, this doesn't really look like a normal cigarette, to say the least. Is there anything going on the back of this? No, there's nothing going on on the back of the slide pack. But we can see these do not look like your normal cigarettes. These really do look like joints, in all honesty, and of course that's, well, pretty much what they are. It says that so on the back, or not on the back, on the bottom of the pack after all. But yeah. Looks like these are rolled with something comparable to raw. And they have a filter tip, or more just like a paper rolled tip. It does appear to be branded by them, so maybe these rolling papers are actually made by them. or maybe they're just branding their stuff. Let's go and smell this real quick. And overall, I'm getting a very herbalesque, sort of floral smell, to nobody's surprise. And yeah, that's really the only smell I'm getting. It's very much just that of an herbalesque floral smell. And yeah, that's really the only smell I'm getting. And yeah, nothing too special, but I mean, like, smells pretty nice. That sort of herbalesque floral smell, I like it. I don't mind it by any means. I just don't really know if I will enjoy smoking it. But yeah, overall, they're okay looking. I mean, like, it looks like a joint. It has a little bit of branding right there, which is nice. Just has their normal logo and everything like that. But yeah, they just look like joints, in all honesty. There's really nothing too much to say about the look of these cigarettes. But now that I have quickly gone over the packaging, I do think it is now time for me to go ahead and go outside and actually, well, have a smoke and enjoy one of the Mugwort and Rose Petal cigarettes for the first time, and to find out just how they actually are. It's pretty cold out today. It's been below freezing all day, and so as such, well, I decided to start this video inside, and honestly, I'm very glad that I decided to do just that. But I do suppose without further ado, I will see you guys outside in just a... Alrighty, well, I am now outside, as we can see, and so I do suppose, without further ado, I should probably go ahead and get this pack of cigarettes all opened up once again, and I do suppose I should probably go ahead and get one of these herbal cigarettes all out of the pack, so I can actually find out just how a Mugwort and Rose Petal herbal cigarette actually is for the first time. Will it be good? Will it be bad? Will I like it or will I not? I don't know, but I'm looking forward to finding out. Was there anything else I wanted to cover about these cigarettes before I go ahead and get this one right here all lit up and find out just how these actually are? I don't think there was. But I'm thinking it would probably be a smart choice to go ahead and grab myself a sip of water, because who knows how rough the cigarette I'm smoking is going to be. So just take a little bit of a sip of water real quick. Feeling much better, to say the least. I do suppose without further ado, I should probably go ahead and get my lighter out of my pocket. And now that I have dropped it, and now that I've picked it back up, after I dropped it and almost dropped it on the ground, I do suppose now I should probably go ahead and get this cigarette right here all lit up and find out, well, as said, just how a Mugwort and Rose Petal cigarette actually is. Yes, sir, and I'm saying. And right off the bat, definitely a very different taste than a cigarette, to say the least. It's also not smoking particularly like a cigarette. Now, I don't generally roll stuff like this, I'll acknowledge. However, based off of videos I have seen in the past from different channels and whatnot, this does appear to be smoking less like a cigarette and more, frankly put, like a joint. Which is, of course, also what it looks like. Let's go and grab myself a little bit of a screenshot real quick for the thumbnail of this video. Now, when I was first lighting this cigarette up, it was a little bit rough. However, I think that might have just been the butane, because since that point, it really has smoothed out quite a bit. This is now, even though it is essentially an unfiltered cigarette, as we can see, it's just got a paper filter that's been kind of made into like a W or a V. Even though this is essentially an unfiltered cigarette, it is still quite smooth. And the flavor is pretty nice as well, and is pretty quality as well, in my personal opinion. I'm just gonna go and put that down just real quick because it is cold and my hands are freezing. So I'm gonna get my gloves on real quick. My hands are so cold. It is like below freezing out here right now. That's why I started the video inside. And it is chilly. It is chilly. Put my gloves on. Hopefully those help just a little bit. Let's go and keep smoking. The body itself is not the biggest, but it is, I'd have to say, a medium to pretty good density. It's, well, let's test it again. Okay, maybe it's not the most dense by any means. But it's not a bad sized body. It's just not the biggest and not the most dense by any means. But that really can be attributed to the shape of this, of course. And I was just trying to ash it because this was not really wanting to ash very well. And I just got a good amount of the of the embers. I just accidentally scraped a good amount of the embers out. So you can definitely tell the stuff inside this definitely has a different texture than tobacco as well, because that would have never happened with a normal cigarette unless it was not packed properly, which I do have faith that this was. I think this is probably grinded up in less of a tobacco format and in more of an herbal format, if you all know what I'm saying. If I had to guess at least, though. Airflow, draw. Airflow is pretty easy. Draw, pretty easy. Just very easy smoking cigarette, to say the least. And I'd have to say as well, yeah, very smooth. Honestly, like a low 2 out of 4 smoothness-wise. I'm not really getting any sort of a particularly big buzz from this, but I do kind of feel like I am getting a slight calming feeling, which from what I know rose petals can do. If you smoke rose petals, you can get sort of a calming feeling from while smoking them. And I definitely have to say I am getting a very slight, right now at least, it might get heavier as I continue smoking, but I am getting a very slight sort of calming feeling, which is very nice. Burn lengthwise, this does appear to be smoking slower than not. I'm thinking this is probably going to be around about a 9 to 10 minute smoke if I had to guess. Although I very well could be wrong, as after all, it gets thinner towards the bottom, so it's going to start smoking faster. But what is the flavor of this cigarette actually like? Well, I gotta admit, it's really nice. It's a really pleasant flavor. I actually really like it. It's very much given me that of a sort of flowery, floral-like flavor, and it's just genuinely very pleasant. It's actually just a really nice flavor. I've smoked a couple other herbal cigarettes in the past. I've smoked a calendula cigarette I rolled myself. I've smoked a random herbal cigarette I bought in Mexico. I smoked a Dejerum Black Bliss cigarette, and then I smoked a Step full-flavored cigarette as well. I've had 4 herbal cigarettes, probably more than that. Those are just the 4 off the top of my head that I've had so far. My favorite of the ones I've tried so far has been the calendula one, then the one from Mexico, then the Step, then the Dejerum. And out of all of the herbal cigarettes I've tried in the last couple days / weeks or so, I would have to say that taste-wise, this one is most definitely my favorite. This one's definitely my favorite taste-wise. It's also just very smooth, and I'm not getting any sort of a off taste from it. I'm not getting any sort of a papery taste, any sort of a chemically taste or anything like that kind of thing. It really does taste like a quality product, and it smokes kind of like a quality product as well. There's definitely a little bit of ash that kind of wants to go everywhere, and it's also kind of hard to ash in general as well. But, you know, it smokes well, tastes good, is good quality. I'd have to say, you know, honestly, I actually do like these quite a bit. I actually do. And I'd have to say, I like these, I think, as much as I like the calendula cigarettes I've tried previously. Now, the calendula cigarettes I did roll myself, so I had a lot of control over what paper I used and everything like that kind of thing. But, yeah, no. I gotta admit, I don't mind these by any means, and I actually quite like them. They're not bad. And I would definitely have to say as well, the rose petal is definitely doing something. I'm getting a very sort of light. I'm getting a very sort of light, sort of calming, relaxing sort of feeling, which is something I really appreciate. It's not overwhelming. Like, I have gotten a buzz from other herbal cigarettes before, like, let's say, the Step full flavors. That buzz was a bit more heavy than this buzz, to say the least. It was definitely a bit more overwhelming. This, on the other end, is a little bit lighter. It's a little bit more just relaxing. It's definitely less like a cigarette buzz and more, frankly put, like a buzz from something like, let's say, a CBD cigarette. However, and when I say CBD cigarette, I actually mean CBD cigarette. I'm not talking about, oh, CBD, haha. No, I'm talking about, I'm literally talking about CBD, I want to acknowledge. But, yeah, no, not bad. The flavor I'm getting is very much that of a herbal, floral, flowery, sort of, I'd have to say, slightly sweet flavor. Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of sweetness in there. There's not too much depth to the flavor of this cigarette, but it just tastes nice. I'd have to say roughness, smoothness-wise is probably very much that of a... Ooh, I'm thinking... Probably like a low 3 out of 4 now. It's definitely getting a bit rougher towards the end. And I'd have to say strength-wise, this is probably like a low 3 out of 4 as well. The buzz is definitely getting a bit bigger towards the end as well. But yeah, not bad. Towards the end, though, I can also definitely tell this is getting a bit tarry. That's no really big surprise. That kind of happens with unfiltered cigarettes sometimes, and it especially happens with floral cigarettes that are not made with tobacco, because some stuff floral cigarettes are made with actually contains more tar than tobacco, which means they're actually more dangerous to smoke than normal cigarettes. Believe it or not, normal cigarettes, of course, are not dangerous due to the nicotine. That's just the addictive portion of them. It's the tar that kills you. And some herbal cigarettes genuinely actually contain more tar than normal cigarettes. And I would not be surprised at all if this is one of them. But yeah, taste-wise, sweet, sort of floral, flowery sort of flavor with, I'd have to say, like a slight undertone of something else, almost sort of a honey. Yeah, it's sort of like a sweet sort of honey, flowery, floral, herbal flavor overall. It's actually quite a nice flavor. And it's a flavor I don't mind by any means. There's not like an insane amount of depth to the flavor, I'll acknowledge, but the flavor itself is pretty pleasant. I'm just gonna try to ash it real quick. And I'm just gonna take off my gloves real quick. My hands are so cold. I think it's like 25 degrees out here right now. That's Fahrenheit, by the way. It's really cold. I'm putting my hands in my pocket. Ooh. Bit rough. It's so cold. We ball though. We ball. Definitely does get a bit rougher towards the bottom. And while I was kind of getting a little bit of a tarry taste for a moment there, it has more so than not gone away. And honestly, the flavor of the cigarette itself has gotten more intense. It's gotten more intensely sort of almost honey-like flowery sort of flavor, which is very pleasant. You know, I haven't tried any herbal cigarettes as of late that I would consider to be like genuinely good smoking products. This is genuinely good though. I was pretty doubtful at the beginning of this video, just because it really does, like the packaging looks like a bar of soap. And honestly, like, it's just pretty, like, there's some things about it that made me think that it was going to be iffy. But it's actually really good. I actually really like it. This is a genuinely decent smoking product. It doesn't have tobacco. Of course, I'd much rather smoke a normal tobacco cigarette. But, you know, this is actually not a bad smoking product by any means. It actually is something I'm quite enjoying smoking. I don't mind it by any means. It's giving a really nice, calming, relaxing feeling. Yeah, I don't mind this. I don't mind this cigarette, I'll acknowledge. Well, I think that's pretty much all I had to it. Definitely that's a little bit rougher towards the end. That is for sure. I'm going to go ahead and put my hands back in my pockets so they stay warm, because I am so cold right now. Or I'm not even really that cold. I'm wearing like thermals and then another pair of thermals on top, and then I've got like 3 layers on top on the upper part of my body as well. My feet are all good. It's just my hands that are cold. Like, my face isn't even that cold. Like, I'm all good. But I'm gonna keep my hands in my pockets. But what are my overall thoughts on these cigarettes right here? The Mugwort and Rose Petal cigarettes I smoked today. What are my thoughts on them? Do I like them? Do I not? Are they decent smoking products, and are they as good as a normal cigarette? Well, to answer the last part of that question posed first, I'd have to say, actually, the cigarette I smoked today is actually better than some cigarettes. It's actually better than a lot of cigarettes I've tried. Quality-wise, it was really good. Taste-wise, it was really nice. It's a really nice, pleasant flavor. There wasn't like too much depth of flavor by any means, but it definitely changed as you kind of went. So there's dynamicness to the flavor. I actually really don't mind the cigarettes I smoked during this video today. I really don't mind the Craig. I still don't really know what the name brand of this is, in all honesty. What does it say on the back? It says... It doesn't actually have the real brand name. It doesn't really have the real brand name. Still don't know how to pronounce or how to say the brand name. But actually genuinely better than some real cigarettes I've tried. And overall, out of all of the... Oh, man, I just realized I ashed on myself. Bruh, that's such a bro moment. But out of all of the herbal cigarettes I've bought online so far, these are the best. Now, that's not really saying much. I've only ever tried one other pack of our herbal cigarettes I've tried that I bought online so far. Well, no, that doesn't make any sense. I've only tried one other pack of herbal cigarettes I bought online so far, and that was the Step full flavored cigarettes, which weren't horrible by any means, but they were like, okay. The cigarettes I smoked in this video, actually genuinely good. Like, genuinely solid quality cigarettes that I don't mind by any means. Rating-wise, honestly, they're going to be getting a high 3 out of 4. And that's when comparing them to normal cigarettes, not just against other herbal cigarettes. Genuinely a high 3 out of 4. And I'm putting them on the same level as I'm putting them on the same level as the Calendula cigarette I smoked in the past, and honestly, they're getting a better rating than the herbal cigarette I smoked in Mexico, which was probably my favorite herbal cigarette that I hadn't rolled myself that I've ever tried. Yeah, I actually quite like the cigarettes I smoked today, and they're getting a high 3 out of 4. Overall, I like the flavor. I like the smoothness of them. I like how it kind of comes across. The smoothness wasn't really, the roughness, smoothness wasn't really all that different than a normal cigarette, which is something that I really like, and it's something I've noticed that a lot of herbal cigarettes don't really do a very good job of nailing. I also liked the sort of calming feeling it gave me and everything like that kind of thing. That was something I appreciated as well. Overall, I gotta admit, I don't mind the cigarettes I smoked today. Or the cigarette I smoked today, because I did only have one of them. And overall, definitely deserving of a, I'd have to say, yeah, high 3 out of 4. Not a bad smoke in my personal opinion. Not a bad smoke at all, if I do say so myself. Is it something I would personally buy again? Probably not, no, because I'd much rather spend my money on real tobacco products. However, if you're looking to quit, I really do think that these are not a bad option, especially if you like quality tobacco products. You're probably going to enjoy this quality smoking product as well. Overall, yeah, no complaints on my behalf. I have had a pretty good experience today, and I hope you guys have enjoyed watching. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to say. Overall, do I like, well, Mugwort and Rose Petal cigarettes? I'd have to say I do think I do, in all honesty. Thank you so much for watching this video, y'all. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. If you guys have, make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I also have my Instagram, my book, my merch, my P.O. Box, and my other channels all in the description down below. Go check them all out. So the next video... Excuse me. To the next one, y'all. Stay safe and peace, and have a great one. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying?